Another pile of cool stuff waiting to be presented today. Stay tuned. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna make a little video once again about videotapes, simply because I just can't get myself into making a video about the gaming stuff that I kind of promised you over and over for several months, even though I kind of started doing this and it's doing quite well, to be honest. By that I mean the game posters. I do have everything set up, and I even have a YouTube channel, an eBay channel, an eBay store where you can find these. And also I'm going to include a couple of videotapes simply because some are not really selling off on Facebook. So I mean, instead of being stuck with them for long periods of time and it's just there on my shelves and whatever, I started like maybe just putting a few on eBay, see if more people will be interested, and get them rolling a bit more. So anyway, that said, I'll put the link in the description if you want to check the eBay store. Of course the prices are a little bit more higher than I would put them on Facebook, simply because of course there's like the YouTube tax. So yeah, the YouTube fees. Why do I keep saying YouTube? I mean the eBay fees or the eBay tax. All right, so enough of this. Let's dive into the video because I don't want to drag this for too long, because I only got like maybe 8 or 9 tapes. That's it. So the first one is, I didn't even do any research. I know I had this in the past, and I did sell this in the past as well. I had like 3 or 4 tapes, maybe even 5 tapes. I know it's a series, and I think at the time I thought that the 5 tapes that I own were like the whole thing, but turns out I think the series is way bigger than that. If I do check on the spine right here, usually this is where you get the indication of all this stuff. Here it says I think 13, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it looks like it's in Chinese. Let me just zoom right here. So yeah, sorry I can't read that, but I just believe that means like part 13, so maybe the 13th tape. Who knows how many there are? Maybe 18, maybe 15, maybe 12, who knows? Well, not 12 because that's 13, but yeah, you get the idea. But yeah, the reason I bought this is because it's really weird. You got like this little ET guy. Well, it says ET right here. And it's kind of like the similar character that was in Friendly Shock, which is actually a Taiwanese film, which is somehow like a ripoff of E.T., like a Taiwanese ripoff of E.T. And that movie actually sold for quite some good money in the past. So to find this odd TV series featuring the same character is kind of very, very interesting. So that's why I picked this up, even though it's like one odd episode in this huge series. And who knows if this series even came out on tape in Taiwan, that I have no idea. As you can see, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's why at the time when I kind of sold those 5 tapes, I thought that, those were the 5 tapes and 1 episode each, done. But who knows? I don't know what this even means, to be honest. But I think it's like within this cassette you have 5 like small sketch or something. Anyway, that said, Sun Record Video is kind of like a rare label. I don't really see this very often, if at all. The cassette's very old. It's like 1987. So that's quite old for tapes in South Korea. And it's also in very good shape. Let me just zoom out. Yeah, barely any sun fade, and I think the ones that I found in the past had like much sun fade. So this is kind of a very nice copy. If you just want like this kind of random thing from Taiwan with like weird characters. Let me zoom in again. See, like right here, see, like with the mushroom kid, whatever, E.T. ripoff. This is kind of a really cool thing to have. It says China TV, but I think it's Taiwanese. So anyway, I'll put that for sale. Maybe, by the way, this is maybe one thing I'll just dump on eBay. maybe just for, I don't know, around 50 bucks or something, because it's kind of rare. I just have to clean it though. By the way, it's the original clamshell, which is very, again, hard to find with its original clamshell. I do have to clean it, because as you can see, there's a little bit of mold here and right here, but it's very minimal. Came like this, which, by the way, this is nothing. For South Korea, this is actually very good, because rarely would you get like so little mold in like a used tape. So anyway, I was kind of happy to find this. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Next one, we have American film, a Canon film, Canon production. It's Missing in Action Part 2, Chuck Norris, classic of like Canon films. I'd never seen that film, I think. Was, you know, at the time I was a kid, and maybe my parents didn't want me to rent this, I don't know, or my friends had it at home, I watched it there, but just parts of it. Anyway, has a bit of sun fade, not much, just the yellow part. The rest is pretty nice. Sadly, the clamshell itself is, yeah, it has, yeah, see, it's ripped. So I do need to change that, sadly. I think it would be hard to find, because the Sigyeong, yeah, it's kind of like an old label, so to find those clamshells is not really easy. Same thing as the other tape I showed you. A bit of sun fade, a bit of mold, but not too much for an old tape like this. So this is like nothing. I'll clean that in a heartbeat. Which is, by the way, this is rare, because whenever I show you tapes, I always clean them before, because, you know, I like to show you like clean stuff, but this is kind of an exception. I didn't clean this one. I just like wiped off maybe the dust or whatever. But as you can see, like this, there's no care or anything. And by the way, those clamshells are kind of a pain, because they leave like this red trace on the back of the covers. It's like I said, it's not because it's a defect or anything. It's just like they're made like that, the color ones. So to change this clamshell is a good thing, to be honest. Okay, now we go to something very, very rare. I mean, it wasn't too rare for the longest time, and now it's kind of rare because, you know, like, I'm looking for it and it doesn't pop up anywhere, but finally one copy did pop up. Like I think the last one I sold was like a year ago, and it's a title that's really in demand, or at least was really in demand. I think like a lot of people who wanted it finally got it. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to sell this, but if I put it on eBay, it may sell very quickly. So this is Rambo Cup. Of course, there's no movies called Rambo Cup. It's just another title for Samurai Cup, which is a cult classic on its own. And of course, the original Samurai Cup, the American release, is quite rare, not to say like very, very rare, and it does sell for like a lot of money. I think it's always over $200, maybe $300, could be wrong, but it's up there. It's in the 3 digits. And this copy is very, very clean. As you can see, there's barely any sun fade, if any. It's funny because the logo looks like Full Moon Video. Yeah, it does look like Full Moon Video, but it's called Cinemax, a Korean label. So as you can see, let me show you. See, and you have this little hologram right there, super cool. So original release, South Korean release. Oh, and it does have the Cinemax clamshell. So this is another really cool thing, because usually it doesn't come with it. So yeah, it is an original blue clamshell that did come with this tape. If I look into it, same thing, very, very clean, beautiful copy. I mean, well, there's a bit of writing here, but I mean, that's not too bad. And again, the logo, Cinemax, the little hologram right here. So beautiful copy, to be honest. I'm surprised nobody bought it when I put it on Facebook. So yeah, this is obviously gonna go on eBay very soon, maybe this week. So keep an eye for it if that's your thing. Okay, now we have a couple of late releases. So if the late releases are your thing, well, you're gonna be in for some surprises. So the first thing is, well, something I showed you before. It's Garfield 2. Nothing too amazing about this, I think. Maybe some people will be like, oh wow. But someone told me that this came out in the US, not officially, because at the time it was released in the US on a videotape. It was actually a screener. So it's a very rare screener, to be honest, because this came out more like 2006, when obviously videotapes were done. So maybe late 2006 or maybe even early 2007. So if we look at the date for this video in South Korea, if I can just focus. Yeah, see, it's December 13, 2006. So yeah. It's kind of an early late release for South Korea, but hey. Yeah, there used to be a lot of demand for this, but now I think it kind of died out. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna come back. I do have 2 copies of this. This is my second one. It does have some sun fade, sadly, but overall, I mean, there's no issues on the sleeve itself. You know, no crease, no tear, nothing. So it's a beautiful copy. I just need to change the clamshell because, of course, it's all effed up as you would expect. The cassette is perfect, by the way. So I just need to change clamshell. Okay, let's keep up with the late releases. We have another one. I just checked the title before I made this video, and you know what? 10 minutes in the video and I already forgot what it was. The only way I was able to find the title of this is because Hans Zimmer made the music. So I just checked on IMDb for Hans Zimmer, movie he made around 2006, 2008, and I found this, the title for this. It's something like Imp or Limp, Imps, something. Anyway, it has IMPS or apostrophe S in the title, whatever that means. Yeah. So, what else about this film? I think it's a German and American co-production. And from what I remember from the IMDb information, I think it's a 5 out of 10, so it's probably garbage. But hey, it's a little animation film. It's a late release. So anyone into the late releases and animation maybe should get this if it's not too expensive. And I'm not going to put that for that much money anyway. Because I kind of want to get rid of it. You know, it's whatever for me. It's a nice copy, to be honest. It's dubbed in Korean. There's a bit of sun fade on the spine, but not too much. Oh yeah, and for what I remember also, it's a 2006 movie, but the videotape is late 2008. So as you can see right here, September 2008. So that's the release of this cassette. Which makes it quite late in the VHS cycle, to be honest. Once again, cassette is very clean, very beautiful, so hey, why not? Okay, now we are down to the last 3 tapes that I have for you today. So again, I'm going a little bit fast because some of the stuff I showed you before, like this one, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. Again, back when I had that, like I wouldn't say several copies, but back when this was easy to find, nobody wanted it, and I ended up selling it for not too much money. But now it's kind of like a lot of people want it suddenly. I don't know. There's like some hype for this movie, whatever. Maybe because there's a game coming out on Xbox, the new Indiana Jones game. I don't know. It has some sun fade, sadly, but otherwise the rest of the sleeve is very clean. If you're wondering what are those punch holes right here, CJ is just the label in South Korea, the distributor. If I can just zoom in right here, see you have CJ Entertainment. So that is the company. Oh, and by the way, it's 2008. 2008, does it have the month? Yeah. October 2008 is the release for the VHS of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. So that's another very rare one. I do have another copy right there under my desk, but it's just a cassette. It doesn't have the sleeve, unfortunately. So yeah, there you go. And it's a very clean copy as well. But this one is sadly already sold, but I'm just showing you because it's not a title that I see very often these days, unfortunately. Okay, next is something quite unique. I don't think it's it's a movie that many people want simply because it's another dance movie, like the one I showed you a couple weeks ago. Remember, like that made in the UK dance film. I already forgot the title. I have it next to me, but title is a bit small. But it's something 3D. Let's say dance movie 3D. All right, 2010, and I picked it up because it was like September 2010, very late release. This one is Step Up. I think the other movie is kind of a clone of this one because it ride on the popularity of the Step Up films. Because yeah, they also had a 3D one, or part 3 in 2010. They kind of followed each other with their sequels and everything. Anyway, this is Step Up, and what's so special about it, besides that it is a 2007, I think. Yeah, it's 2007. January 12 exactly. It's a sealed copy. You can see the watermark right here from the distributor, Enter 1, right here. See, Enter 1 on the front as well, and it's sealed. So this is a sealed copy. And I think I said that last time, that it's super rare to find a late release like sealed copy, because those tapes would go to the video stores for rentals. So why wouldn't they open them up, right? And if they wouldn't sell them, I guess they would not sell but rent them out. They would just send them back to the distributor or something. But I was able to find a sealed copy, so this is kind of a bit mind-blowing for me. And this is not a sell-through copy because, like I said, the sell-through copy would be in a smaller clamshell. You can just check my previous video, and I do show a sealed sell-through copy of Cars, which is also super rare. But this is also like extremely rare because, like I said, it's not a sell-through. It was aimed at video stores, so you shouldn't be able to find this still sealed. It's kind of very odd. So anyway, sadly, it's not like a more like wanted movie. You know, I would have liked if it was, for example, I don't know, Avatar or something insane. But hey, anyway, Step Up, that's cool, you know. Oh, this is gonna go for sale as well. Probably gonna put it on eBay. And finally, my last tape is again another one that is already sold, just like the Indiana Jones. But I feel I should show it to you nonetheless, because I had that in the past once, and I sold it once, and the person who bought it, of course, was at the very beginning when I started hunting down those late releases. So that movie never popped up again, and I never really looked for it like too badly, except maybe, I would say maybe a year and a half ago-ish. I started like really looking for that because somebody asked me for it. So ever since I've been looking for it, but I never found another copy. And I think someone else, I know, another seller, did have one copy for sale, and of course it's sold in a heartbeat. So we only found like pretty much 2 copies overall. I have another friend who got like a ton of tapes, South Korean tapes, but I don't think he had or has this because he's not too much into the animation stuff. It's not his thing. So that would be like the 3rd copy ever found. Yeah. So what's so special about it? Of course, this movie, which I forgot the title. Oh my God. That's so bad. Okay, anyway. Blah, 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 blah. Chances of Meatballs, okay? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That's it. That's the title. All right. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs came out, this videotape, in 2010. So let me just show you the date on the back. So right here we have, I was going to say August, May 2010, which probably makes it the last animation ever released on VHS in South Korea, and therefore in the world. Of course, we can include the Chipmunks movie, but it's kind of like animation slash, you know, like live actors. So it doesn't really count because you have like the second Chipmunks movie that was also around the same time, 2010, maybe May, maybe June, maybe April, I'm not too sure. So that would be the very last true animation. Of course, there was like, so for some time there were some speculations that maybe Up has been released on VHS because it's a Pixar, and no, it's never been released. I mean, like I said, I've been here since those tapes were released. I was here when those tapes were released back in 2009, 2010. I was in South Korea, and I was actually looking for tapes, and I never seen them. Again, not that I was looking for those titles precisely, but I would have seen them, you know, like, come on. So no, they've never been released on cassette, so that makes it, so far as we know, the last animation film ever released in South Korea, which is kind of cool. Something else I should mention about this, well, there's a bit of sun fade, but otherwise the copy is very beautiful, clean, corners, no rip, no nothing, no mold. If I open it up, you know, usually there's like water damage or it's wavy. This copy has nothing against it. It's beautiful. Same goes with the cassette, although maybe at the very beginning of the cassette it's kind of like, you know, like it's broken up, but I checked it and it just goes like, it doesn't go far. It goes like maybe this length, like 2 feet. That's it. The rest of the tape is okay. So that's one thing. And also, as you can notice, do you see the clamshell, by the way? Well, I'm sure you do. It's kind of like opaque white, but like it has like a semi-transparent quality to it. Those clamshells were only used in 2010, and I would say even like late 2010. So many, not many, but quite a few releases had that clamshell. And if you have like a release that doesn't have this, I mean, doesn't mean it was, you know, like you're missing, you have the wrong clamshell, but actually they're super hard to find because you need to find a 2010 tape to be able to get that specific clamshell. And most of the time, you know, it would be ripped, it would be super dirty, it would be cracked everywhere, it would be missing pieces that are broken here. But this clamshell is actually, I wouldn't say mint, but it doesn't have any of these like defects or anything. So that is so cool. Okay, just to be more obvious with the transparency of that, see, that's a normal transparent clamshell. And right here, this is the off-white, like semi-transparent one that I'm like mentioning. So there you go. I think, by the way, you know, like a movie like Avatar would have this. So yeah, it's hard to tell like when they started making those for like which release, which company exactly, and which date. But we know that this is May 2010, so May 2010 tape has this. So moving on until the end of 2010, a couple of releases have this clamshell. All right, so this video has been long enough because I have to edit it and post it probably tonight. So let's wrap it up. Okay, so just to show you what I got, it's not like that mind-blowing, but hey, you know, a couple of tapes. So this is all I got for you for today. I hope you liked the video as usual. If you want to leave a like, leave a comment. It's really fun to read your comments, reply, engage, you know. And this time, by the way, I really hope that my next video will be about something else than videotapes. I know you like the tapes, guys, but I need to move on to, you know, something else because, as you know, like it's really hard to find this stuff. You know, it's been over, no, maybe not over, but close to a month that I made a video, and look what I have. It's not that much, but it's all I could dig, you know. So it's really hard. And by the way, in South Korea, just to say, if you ever want to visit this place, because you're interested in South Korea, don't come in May. Don't come in May. Don't come in August. It's crazy hot. Okay, I'm dying here. It's like 35 degrees plus the humidity. It's unbearable. So yeah, and that's another reason why I don't go out checking for tapes these days. Just it's impossible. It's way too hot. It's unpleasant. All right, that's it for today, guys. I hope you liked the video, and see you on the next one.